Moana Robinson here from Be Style for Life, and today I'm taking a moment with Suzanna Hammond, and most people call Suzanna Susie. Susanna has written a book and it's called The Body Connection, an Analog ReBoot. Welcome, Susie. I'll call you Susie.
Okay,
Welcome, Susie, and thank you so much for joining me and taking a moment today. Can you tell me a little bit about your book?
Well, first of all, I'll show you a little bit about my book. I think, can you see that?
Yes, I can, and I love the cover. It's very dynamic and it's...
Very nice. An analog reboot for digital times. Now, the reason that I called it that is because everybody is doing things digitally these days.
Yes.
And as indeed we are now.
Yep.
And I think people have forgotten quite a lot about the old-fashioned analog common sense ways to live. And currently with this COVID-19, I think we're going back to finding out about the old analog ways, you know, how to make do, how to use simple ways to keep ourselves healthy and entertained and all that kind of thing, and look after our families. So actually it's quite a timely piece. It was timely when I wrote it, and it was launched at the end of last year, but it's even more timely now, I think. So, and it's really, it covers all the body systems. It covers an explanation about how we got to where we are now. And, you know, everything from social media to where does your garbage go. And it goes through a lot of the body systems, diet, exercise, all of that. And it's quite a light touch. It's in parts of quite funny.
Okay.
Sounds like a bit of a heavy tone, but it isn't.
Yeah. So can you, can you tell me a little bit about your life and also what inspired you to write the book?
Gosh, well, I've had 3 careers in my life. One is as a writer. I've had 5 or 6 years as a professional singer, and I have worked as a body worker and healer since 1985. So I've made perinatal education films. I've written and directed them and produced them. I've written the what would you say? We used to call it Menstruation the Movie, but I wrote the school education program for menstruation for Johnson & Johnson. I've had quite a long career in writing alongside of what I do. I also had several years in pharmaceutical advertising as a writer. So I've been a reporter. I've written for radio and television. So that's my writing career, and the healing thing came in 1985 after I got out of advertising. So the reason I wrote the book is because for years people have been saying to me, how do you hold all that stuff in your head? How do you knit things up over several disciplines and take one person? Because people come to me to get renovated, really, you know.
I like that, get renovated.
They can have one modality, or they can have several. It really depends on what the brief is. I think it's a bit like what you do, but it's the body work version of that. And people were saying, how do you hold all this stuff in your head? Why don't you write a book? Because I can't remember it. They were saying, you know, write it down so that I can remember it. So that's really what I did. And I had a big break after my mother died, and I was doing a lot of writing, you know, to the Royal Commission, to Aged Care and the ABC and all of that. And I suddenly remembered how much I liked writing. So I decided that at last I was going to write this book. My mother would be thrilled. Unfortunately, she died, but she would be thrilled because she was another one who kept saying to me, for God's sake, Susie, write the book.
Well, that's interesting because my mum is the one who inspired me to write as well.
Oh, really?
Yes, she kept her memoirs for years and years, like 40 years or something. So I'm still alive, but she was thrilled that I wrote the book. and said that she wished that she had actually got around to writing hers too. But I'm encouraging her to still write it.
Well, tell her, you're a long time looking at the lid. She should start now, because I am still sorting through my mother's papers, and I keep finding swathes of her memoir that she started writing in Boston in 1987.
Yeah.
Right, so everywhere I look, there's another bunch of her writing, or a disc or something with her writing on it, and I really wish she'd just bitten the bullet and sat down and written the thing,
Well, hopefully this might encourage some other people to write as well.
I hope so, because it's not that difficult if you write it like you would speak it.
Exactly. And as you say, it's really downloading the information that you've got in here and downloading it into a book.
Yes.
Yeah.
And everybody's terrified by that first page,
Yes.
Everybody is. And I think, I was very lucky to get the blueprint, from Natasha and Stuart at Ultimate 48-Hour Authors. And I think if I'd had any qualms or nerves, it made it a lot easier to write it. And I think anybody could use that as a blueprint for a book, really. Oh,
definitely. And so supportive, encouraging.
Yeah.
Kept you on track all the way along, isn't it? Yeah.
Well, you have to you have to have a bit of discipline to write, It's
you do.
Bum glue, But but once I got into it, and once I found my voice in the book, which is what I was saying before, it sounds like it might be a bit of a heavy tome, or a bit technical, because it's got words like analog and digital and all of that in. But actually, parts of it are very, very funny, because humans are very funny.
They are.
As we're discovering at the moment.
Yes. Life is very funny. Life is very unpredictable and strange and funny. So, yeah.
Exactly.
Your background, I love the look of your house. It just looks so interesting. So you were saying it's quite an old house?
106 years old. It's a Federation cottage.
Yeah.
And it's only had 3 owners. The original owner was a woman called Maud. Yeah. And Maud's ghost used to be here. I haven't felt her around for a long time, but yep, she used to be here. And it was the traditional 4-roomed Federation tram driver's cottage with the loo out the back and a wash house, really. And it's been kind of altered over the years, but I'm the 3rd owner in a 106-year-old house. And it's seen quite a few transformations, but I like this sort of, I don't know what style you'd call it. It's got African, Indian, Indonesian, Chinese, it's got a bit of everything in it, really.
Quite eclectic. Yes. Yeah, well, that's wonderful. I'm really, really interested to read your book, so I will have to go online and check it out. Whereabouts can people buy your book from?
Well, people can buy it from Amazon as a hard copy, or as a Kindle version or an ebook. You don't just have to download it on Kindle. You can get the Kindle app on your iPad too, So if you don't have a Kindle, you can do that. It's on Booktopia. It's on really all of the major
online bookstores.
Online bookshops. It's in a few bookshops in Sydney, which are now unfortunately closed. It's at Glee Books and Harry Hartog in Macquarie, and another place in Balmain. And in Gladesville it's available as well. But you can also go onto my website, which is www.islandsofbliss.com.au. And if you look under books and MP3s, then there is a link straight through to the book. And at the moment, I've got as a free offer on that same page my relax and sleep meditation tapes. So they're guided meditation tapes, a 20-minute one in the middle of the day so that you can have some time out and be guided in and out, or out. Yeah, in and out. And the sleep one, which just sort of tails off and you can just go to sleep to that. So I've put them up for free, as is my 21 Foods a Day recipe book. So that is all on, they're all for free at the moment. So please, anybody go on the website.
Okay, well that's great. I'll put all those details. I'll put the details for the website.
Thank you.
Below, and I really appreciate you taking a moment with me, Susie. It's been wonderful chatting to you.
Thank you for having me on. Thank you.
Thank you.